Hey guys, it's Tim Shermack, and welcome back to another episode of the Platform Marketing Show. I'm joined today by Billi Jo Cape in Effingham County, Georgia. Billi Jo, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So we probably should have had you on the show earlier, but I don't know why it took us this long. But now you're here. Let's do it, right?
Okay, can I say
You
why?
joined the Platfam. Yeah,
Can I say why? Because you didn't answer the phone when
yeah.
I called you at our lunch, remember?
I think it was a FaceTime, and I have a standing rule if I don't take random FaceTimes. No, it's like an ongoing inside joke that I don't know. It's probably you, Kimberly,
Yes.
Faith, Heather.
Yeah.
Who else am I forgetting that's in that?
Ashley Sorensen was with us that day.
Ashley. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That they just randomly FaceTime me whenever they're together at conferences or masterminds or whatever, and you have no reason to call me other than you're trying to annoy me. But good times. So you've been in the Platfam since I think you said June of 2024, because I believe it was following the Girls with Grit
Yep, June
conference.
2024.
Was that how we got connected, or were you following us on social media before that? Do you remember?
Yes, that was the first time that I actually spoke with Diana. Yes.
Okay. So it's been at this point coming up on almost 2 years that you've been kind of in the Platfam. I know that prior to ever joining the platform marketing program, you were already at 12, 13 million in sales volumes. You were already a successful realtor by any measure, right? Like many
Yes.
agents will go their entire career and their goal is to someday get to 12 million, 13 million, right? You were already there before you joined platform, right?
Right. Right.
This year, however, you're currently on pace to do somewhere between 12 and 25 million, which is a obviously massive leap from where your business was at just a couple of years ago. And a pretty good chunk of your business so far this year, you can basically directly track back to your various platform marketing campaigns. Why don't you just tell me kind of what's going on right now? How many platform leads do you have in the hopper? What have been some recent wins that you've had so far this year with your various, marketing campaigns going on?
Right. So I really can't tell you like how many leads I have in there. I know there's a few thousand. I'm just going to go ahead and be upfront and honest. I do not regularly call or follow up with my leads like my girl Kim. I'm trying to be better
Shout
about
out to
it.
Kimberly.
She's amazing. Okay. She's amazing. So I don't do that regularly. I can only imagine if I did, like what my business would look like, because it would be absolutely insane. I could barely keep up right now as it is. With that being said, though, I think that some of my more recent wins, I kind of posted them in our Platfam, our private Facebook group this morning, because I just thought it was important. Like we've had a few new people come on lately, and they're just kind of, popping in our chat there and like, hey, I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And I just thought it was important for some of them to know some of these things that kind of happened to us, because it's really cool, even 2 years in, it's really cool. Like to me, I'm just me. I'm nobody special. You know what I mean? Like I work hard. I have a lot of kids. They're expensive. I have to work a lot. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's just crazy that it still happens. Like I was literally this weekend almost dead at Universal for 2 days with a bunch of middle schoolers. I chaperoned a chorus trip with two of my girls, and like when we got back to the hotel the first night, we had to like check all the girls in their rooms and stuff, secure them and then go to our rooms or whatever. So I'm going in my room and this mom slash chaperone walks by and she just kind of taps me on the arm and she's like, hey, I see you all over Facebook. I watch your videos all the time. They're really good. And I was like, thanks. Do not know this mom at all. So that was cool. And then I was literally in my room for 5 minutes and then I was going to go back downstairs to get a drink, from the hotel lobby. And I walk out of my room and the chorus teacher and like three other teachers or parent chaperones are just standing in the hall chatting. And as soon as I walk out, like before I even see them, they're like, hey, you want to sell me a house? And I was like, sure, can I sell you all a house? And they're like, heck yeah. And then we just all chatted in the hallway for literally like 10 or 15 minutes about houses they've been seeing online or what they would want when they're ready to sell and buy. And I was like, this is so crazy to me. And then I've gotten a few like
And they
referrals from other
just
agents.
like already know you.
Correct. Yeah. So it's still
Like,
weird to
so,
me.
yeah.
Like it just, yeah. Yeah. So the recognition, honestly, I think has been one of the biggest benefits of platform thus far. Like, I'll be honest with you, before platform, before I even knew who y'all were, before I ever had my first conversation with Kim about you guys, before I ever talked to Diana the first time, or ever knew that that's who Kara used. Shout out to my girl Kara. She is amazing. I love her. Um, I was doing videos and stuff on my listings before that. I did my own small business spotlights
Yep.
and stuff before that. Like, that's just who I am as a person. I'm very involved in my community. Those things are very important to me, that we support each other, you know.
And that's why you were already successful as an agent even before joining the platform program, because
Yeah.
you were kind of doing your own version, right, of what we
Right.
call the platform
Right.
strategy. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. But like what you guys do, like the way that you guys do the ads and the retargeting and just elevating what I was already doing, I didn't know how to do that part, you know? So that alone, when I have seen what having that elevation and additional exposure can do, has just been astronomical for my business. I mean, I've had 16 already this year, and 8 of them for a fact I can say were definitely because of platform. So that's literally half my business this year, you know?
So you've had
So,
16 closings so far this year. And by the way, we're like recording this in April. Again, I have no idea when someone's going to listen to this podcast episode in the future,
mhm.
but as of the moment we're recording this right now, it's like mid April. You've already had 16 closings, and you can directly track at least 8 of those deals came from your various platform marketing ads, that we're running on Instagram, Facebook,
Yes.
etc. And again, I want to repeat, you were already a successful agent before platform. So this is not one of those like rags to riches stories of like, hey, she was this loser agent who was selling 2 houses a year and platform turned her into a superstar or something, right? It's like you were
Right.
already really successful. But I think that just actually gives some perspective on how powerful this strategy is, that it can take someone who already is very successful and make them even more successful, right? Because,
100%.
you have to kind of like look at most testimonials or most case studies. Unfortunately, these days, you have to look at most case studies with kind of a grain of salt, because unless you get
Mhm.
really specific numbers, I am very skeptical when most companies say, hey, look at such and such. We tripled this
Yeah.
person's business or we
Right.
tripled their GCI. It's like, okay, you read the fine print and it's like they were at 2 million of GCI and they tripled the 6 million. It's like, well, that's great.
Right.
I'm happy for them. But it's really, to be honest, not that hard to go from 2 million in sales volume to 6. I mean, yes,
Right.
it is technically tripling, right? But like,
Yeah.
when the numbers are that small, it's not as impressive as like, hey, your business has grown from, 13 million to you might do 25 million
Right.
this year. That's still technically less than doubling, I guess, technically. But we're
Right.
talking about adding potentially $12 million to your sales volume, which is to
Yeah.
say you're basically adding 300 grand to your potential GCI. That's a really big deal. And I think it's even harder to do that when you're already starting from a spot of being as successful as you already were, right? So that makes it even uh more impressive. So, okay, let's talk about some of the specific ads that you're running, Billy Joe. So, would you say listings are a major part of the strategy, or if you were telling another realtor, like if some agent asked you at some conference or something like, "Hey, I saw you're doing this platform thing. What ads work the best for you?" How would you answer that question if you were telling another agent about what ads work the best for you?
So definitely the listing tours. Um, I have been more listing heavy the last couple of years, as it is. So most of my listing videos each month are my own listings. It's pretty rare that I go do someone else's, but if I didn't have a listing, that's 100% what I would do. Um, and I know a lot of people I've seen, have been nervous about that or whatever. And it's a simple conversation. I mean, the listing agent would have to be crazy to tell you no. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I didn't have listings, that's 100% what I would do, because those for me probably get the most engagement. Um, I get the most engagement and views on them, and they continue to be shared. Like even after the home is sold and stuff like that, like people still talk about them. I mean, heck, I think I did 2 pool videos last year. They were pretty entertaining, by the way. And people still talk about them. literally now. Like it's been
Yeah.
over a year. You know what I mean? Like they still talk
How
about
many
specific
how
videos.
many how many how many views are you getting on a typical listing video? Are you getting 20,000 or 40,000 or
So my average is around 87,000 according
okay.
according to
Okay.
according to Allie, because I don't really track
Okay.
any of this stuff. If you ask me on a normal day, I couldn't tell you what my
That's
numbers were in
amazing.
any way, shape, or form. I literally just get up and work every day. So between Allie and my amazing transaction coordinator, they track those things for me.
So you're
um,
you're averaging over 80,000 views on every listing video you do, which obviously means that in your community you're not you don't just have the reputation of being a realtor, because I think it's one thing. It's kind of like step one in the branding process is that when people think realtor, we want them to think you in your community, right? And they just
right.
think of, hey, if I need to call a realtor, I need to call Billy Joe, right?
Mhm.
It's another level entirely when you get to the point where your reputation isn't just that you're a realtor, but that you're the expert marketing realtor that every time you do a listing video, it's getting 50,000 views, or in your case, it's getting 80,000 views. Because,
Right.
I mean, basically, it means when you go on a listing appointment, and by the way, guys, we're having this conversation live, so we have not pre scripted any of these questions. So when Billy Joe is telling me all these answers, I have no idea what she's going to say, right? So that was as cool for me hearing that as everyone else listening to this podcast. I had no idea that you were
Yeah.
averaging over 80,000 views on your listing videos. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It means that I'm guessing when you go on a listing appointment now, it's
Mhm.
almost like a formality. Like you're not really pitching, like they're basically like, hey, we want to work with you. We've seen the amount of exposure you get the listings. Just kind of tell us where to sign.
Mhm. So I've actually had that exact thing be said to me a few times within the last couple months. Yes. I actually even tried to offer someone a slight discount on commission, which I don't do very often. And I find that I don't have to do anymore, which to me speaks volumes. And they literally said, no, we know what your value is. And we want to pay you whatever your normal full price commission is that you would charge us. And I was like,
That's amazing.
what? So I thought that
Yeah,
was really cool.
we were talking a bit like before we hit record on the show that you had a year, I think it was last year, you said, where you actually sold fewer homes than the previous year, but you still made the same amount of money. And
I
it's
did.
because you said, hey, like I'm not discounting my commissions as much as I did 2 or 3 years ago, because now I'm so confident with all this marketing I have that I don't really feel like I have to discount my commissions. Or if someone asks you if you're willing to discount your commissions, you can more confidently say in that moment, like, no, I don't discount my commissions. And here's why. Here's all the marketing I do that other agents don't do.
Absolutely. Yes. And if I do have to have that conversation with someone that's asking for a discount, 9 times out of 10, they very quickly are in agreement with me and they understand the value they're getting here versus maybe over here with someone who doesn't do our type of marketing.
Yeah, I actually feel bad for agents who have to have that conversation that aren't actually doing anything different with their marketing. Because, like, imagine you're on a listing appointment, whatever, and you're quoting them, hey, my list fee is 3%. And they're like, would you be willing to do it for two? Or would you be willing to do it for 1.5? And you have to just invent some total bullshit in the conversation about, well, I offer better service than other realtors, or it's all this just absolute non-falsifiable fluff that, like, you do the same thing as other agents, but you're just hoping that they don't negotiate, frankly, better than you do. And if you're actually doing something different than other agents, though, you can truthfully fall back on that in these conversations of like, hey, I understand that some other agents might discount their commissions, and that's because, frankly, they all do the same thing. So they're willing to do whatever it takes to get a listing. I actually market these properties. I invest money in promoting them. And here's the proof. Look at all these, homes that got 80,000 views or 90,000 views. So no, I'm not willing to negotiate my commission because I'm actually offering a level of marketing and promotion for your home that you're not going to get with other agents. And you can confidently say that, like, because it's the truth.
Absolutely. And I think it gives us even more of an advantage as well to where maybe some other agents wouldn't feel the same way that we can actually pick and choose who we want to work with, right? Because I'm very big on
Yeah.
like people understanding the value and trusting me, you know? And I've just had an overwhelming response from sellers, especially over the last few months from new listings. Like anything I said I wanted them to do to their house, done. There's no question. Like they 100% know that I know what I'm talking about, and they trust that, you know, from the fresh mulch
Yep.
outside, you know, get rid of the pine straw. I want fresh mulch that matches the shutters, you know, to some flowers for the pop of color outside, or move this here inside the house, like whatever. Like there's no question on my judgment. And to me, that also speaks volumes, you know, because I have built that trust within the community and with my marketing and stuff that they have been seeing before they ever called me for the listing appointment in the first place, you know? So I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, even like purely qualitatively, that doesn't necessarily show up in
Absolutely.
the numbers. But
Absolutely.
if the type of clients that you're getting respect you and
Absolutely.
they trust your advice, you're going to have a lot less stress in your real estate career if your marketing positions you that way, rather than just taking any lead that comes in, or any Zillow lead where like, hey, go show me this house right away. And like, you're not
Yeah,
positioned any different from any other realtor in that moment. That's just
absolutely.
not, I mean, even if someone were technically able to make the same amount of money, they're
Mhm.
making that money a very different way than you are, when all
Absolutely.
of your clients want to work with you and they almost feel lucky to get to work with you.
Absolutely. And I mean, that also goes to like, I've had clients say, nope, if you're not available on this day, we'll wait for you. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yep.
You know, that's because I've built that relationship and that rapport and that trust with them though. And that's the most important thing. And like I tell everybody, you know, they cannot teach you everything in pre-licensing courses and all of that. That I don't care what anybody says. Like I think the biggest part of being a good realtor is being a people person. And that's not something you can teach somebody. I truly believe that. You cannot teach that. You cannot
Right.
teach that set of skills. You either have it or you don't. You have to be able to, you know, mingle with people, and you have to be able to just relate and work with a bunch of different types of people, ages, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. And all of those people need to have your same respect. They need to have your same trust, and all of those things like wrapped into one. And that I think is one thing that makes me different, because I don't care who you are. I don't care how you vote. I don't care your age. I don't care any of those things. Like if you're my client, you're my responsibility. And my job is to treat you the best I possibly can, protect your money and your assets. And I think people see that. So that's very helpful. And yeah, I mean, when you were talking about like picking your own clients and stuff, that's super important to me, because like I don't need any additional stress. I don't even know if you know this, but I have 5 kids. Like that's enough stress for me. Like I don't need like stressful clients, you know? Like, so I've been very, very blessed with my clients for quite some time. So,
Yeah. Again, like having marketing that puts you in that position to where you're
mhm,
not kind of just like, hey, I'm willing to take any business that comes my way because I just
yeah,
so desperately need this business. If you're
absolutely.
confident that the marketing you do for clients, but also the marketing you do for yourself, right, that brings you the listing
That's right.
appointments and brings you leads, if you're confident that that pipeline is always generating, new business, then you can kind of be a little bit pickier and choosier in which clients you work with.
Absolutely.
And then it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like if you regularly do business with a certain psychographic demographic of people, you're more likely to get more of that business in the future, because more than likely those people are going to refer their friends who
Hmm.
are like-minded people, right?
Right. Right.
And then you just get more of that in the future. But I think, and maybe I'm biased because I, founded a marketing company, but I think all of this starts with marketing.
Yeah.
I think if you don't have the marketing in place that positions you in a certain way, it's really, really hard to be choosy with clients, because if you don't have a pipeline where you can look forward over the next 90 days and kind of have a general idea of how much money you're going to make, right? Of like
Absolutely.
how many listings that you'll have going live in the next 90 days, or how many buyers you expect to get under contract. If you can't generally guess how much money you'll make in the next 90 days, you have way more of a temptation in the short term to take just any business that comes in. And isn't it funny how it always happens? Because this is true. This is true running a marketing agency too.
Mhm.
If uh if you're not happy with the clients you have,
Mhm.
and you want more clients, and you're and you're willing to just take any business that comes in. It's like, hey, if your credit card will go through, I will take you as a client, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's funny how whenever you take a client that you kind of think like deep down, you're like, this person's not really a good fit, but whatever.
Yeah.
They can fog a mirror and they have a credit card, so we'll take them as a client, right?
Right.
It's so interesting how, again, even running a marketing agency, sometimes I look back and I'm like, man, that person, whether it was a year ago or 5 years ago, whatever, I'm like, we probably never should have taken them on as a client because they showed us signs right away that they were not a good
Yeah.
fit and they were going to be annoying to work with, but we took them on anyways. And
Yeah.
then what always happens is you get really busy because the people like that end up taking the most of your time, right? And they make
Right.
the most insane demands. And then you ironically have less time. And it always happens in a month or two after that. This like amazing, perfect client comes along that is just like a dream client to work with. And you almost feel like, I don't even have time to work with them because my time is being sucked away by these, really annoying, needy clients that aren't even a good fit. So you
Yeah.
have to have like the self control, I guess what I'm saying, to in that moment
Mm-hmm.
turn down clients that aren't a fit
Right.
so that when the perfect client comes along a week from now or a month from now, you actually have time in your calendar to take more of the perfect clients. And what gives you that confidence is having the marketing that you always know, hey, even if I'm slow for a week, like I won't be in a couple weeks because the marketing is always going to bring in new leads. And most realtors don't have that that
Very
that
true.
confidence.
Very true. I
So
agree.
we talked about listings. You've done a
Mhm.
lot of videos. Obviously, your listing videos are averaging 80,000 plus views per video. I mean, that's insane. That's amazing. Uh, what are some of the other like retargeting ads that are working really well for you right now? Like as you look back over the last year or two, are there any ads that you've done that just really pop out of like, hey, this particular ad got a lot of engagement in the community, or this one people were talking about in real life? Like they would come up to me and tell me that they loved such and such post. Are there any that kind of stand out?
So I've had a couple of those, but probably my personal favorite was the one where we did the God Made a Teacher. Um,
Okay.
that one I just
Okay.
thought was like super special. It was sentimental. It was important to me as a mom of so many kids, like for us to give them that acknowledgement as teachers. Like we literally give them our human beings that we birth for longer hours during the day than we have them. So I thought that was really important. And it was really touching to a lot of the teachers I know. I chose to do it at our local elementary school because I've had more kids go through there, Um, I now have no more in elementary school. So sometimes a few of those teachers will actually still text me like, "Hey, we miss you." Or, the ladies at the front desk or whatever, because my last baby is no longer in elementary school. She's in middle school now. So I just thought that was really cool. But I was very involved with that school the last probably 2 years at least. Um, just teacher gifts, just different things throughout the year. I would try to do things like that for them. And anytime they needed anything, I mean, they knew to call me. Um, but all of my children, except for one, have obviously been through that elementary school. So I had a relationship with a lot more people there. And I can truly say that after like year one there,
Yep.
I honestly felt good about leaving my kids there during the day. Like I knew that I had built a relationship with enough of these teachers and admin staff at this school that if something was going on or if my kids needed me or whatever, it wasn't going to be like some hoopla massive school where they didn't know how to contact me or it was just going to be a generic phone call. Like I was contacted, I was told what was going on. I was told like, hey, I think so and so might be having a bad day. Does she feel okay today? Like whatever. Um, so that was a sentimental video for me. And I know most of us have done that video, but I really enjoyed that one.
For all the agents that are listening to this episode that have no idea what you're talking about, they're like, God made a teacher. What are you talking about? Can you describe what that ad was or what that video is, kind of in your own words, assuming that someone has no previous context of what that ad is?
Yes. So it was kind of like a spotlight ad. So instead of spotlighting a business that time, I chose our local elementary school, and I literally just went there on a day where they weren't super busy. And I just recorded myself walking through some halls, popping in some teachers' classrooms and things like that. I did take a few of my kids with me. So we had some engagement there where they, of course, had to find their favorite teachers and go hug them. And, so things like that are in my video. And then you guys, the ads team, just kind of pieced it all together and all. And then the overlay to that was the script, I guess, the copyright that you guys wrote up. And it literally says things like, so God made a teacher, and it was talking about how, all of the things they do for our kids and, their responsibilities and how much they mean to us. And like, I had to say all of those things and record them to be put over the video. And it was just really special for appreciation, basically, for our teachers and like
Yeah.
how you never
Yep.
forget your favorite teacher from your past, things like that.
Yeah. So it's really, it's basically like a tribute video to
Yeah.
local teachers.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of record the voiceover, like the narration for the video.
Right.
And then obviously what we're doing is we're editing, we're kind of splicing in photos that you give us of your favorite local teachers or video clips of,
Mm-hmm.
local teachers, but you are narrating this script that's kind of just, again, it's like a tribute video to local teachers. It's like a minute or
Right.
two long. It's not super long, right?
Right.
But the
Right.
point is we run this as an ad
Mm-hmm.
in your community, and it's not about Billy Joe, it's not about real estate, it's not about new listings or an upcoming open house. I mean, it has nothing to
Yep.
do with homes for sale. It's literally just a tribute video to local teachers. So I think doing ads like that really is what positions you as
Mm-hmm.
being a champion of the community. If you're willing to put resources and you're willing to, produce a video like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And expect nothing in return. Because I think honestly, if you're a platform realtor and you're listening to this and you're already in the platform program, sometimes you take for granted how crazy it really is that someone would be willing to do a video like that, because you kind of take it for granted that, well, the platform team's going to edit it, they're going to launch the ad, they're going to piece it
Mm-hmm.
all together, and they wrote the script and everything. But
Right.
for a random other realtor to try to do something like that on their own, they would have to write a script. The script would actually
Yeah.
have to be good, right?
Right.
They would
Right.
have to go get a bunch of B-roll footage or photos, and they don't really know what to get because
Mm-hmm.
they have never done something like this before. They would have no examples of what to go off of.
Yeah.
They would have to edit it all together. They'd have to launch a Facebook. Like, most realtors just do not have the resources to pull off something like this, which is
Mm-hmm.
why when our platform agents do something like this, I think it
Mm-hmm.
stands out so much in your community. It's like, holy cow, like a local real estate agent put this together. This is really something that like the local chamber of commerce or something should probably be doing, not a local
Right.
real estate agent. You're really just highlighting the community and bragging about how amazing the teachers are.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like catches people off guard, but in a good way, right? They're like, wow, like a
Right.
local real estate agent
Right.
put this together. Like, she really cares about the community. It
Mm-hmm.
almost becomes like, well, duh, if any of those teachers or anyone who works at that school is thinking about buying or selling a house, they're going to
Mm-hmm.
want to work with you now. And frankly, even if they don't, that's fine too,
Mm-hmm.
because just we want to develop your reputation over time as being a champion of the community. It's not like you do this ad
Right.
because you're hoping that one of the realtors or one of the teachers lists their home with you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the cumulative effect over time of doing a lot of these ads is what positions you as kind of being a lighthouse in your community.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really enjoy those the most because, I mean, like I said, I was doing listing videos and, small business spotlight type things
Yeah.
before I ever even knew who Platform was. I just didn't know how to elevate it in a way like Platform, you know? Um, but I just think those things are really important. I mean, I've said it before. I say it
Yeah.
every day. Community is just that important to me. The other people in our community that own small businesses and things like that, they're literally so important. They keep our community
Yeah.
going. And if I am going to eat at your restaurant anyway, and I am going to 100% buy clothes in your boutique anyway, and get coffee at your coffee shop anyway, why would I not do something that's going to take me an extra 10 or 15 minutes of my time to help your business as well? And
Yep.
just, not that it's the reason that I do it, because I just like to be supportive of other people and businesses, but the return that I have gotten from things like that has been astronomical. I mean, You
Yeah.
know, sometimes I'll go in these places and they're like, "Psh, don't worry about it when I pull out my card to pay for my lunch that day." You know what I mean? Or offering to help with an event that I'm doing, or, you know, being able to use their event space, you know, that costs a ton of
Yep.
money. But because I frequent their business so regularly and constantly talk about how amazing they are on social media and stuff, they don't do that for Billy Joe. You know what I mean? Like they just treat you like someone extra special. And it's really, really been beneficial to my business for sure.
I have my phone out here and I'm scrolling through all of your videos because I'm
Oh
trying to
gosh.
find the teacher. I want to see how many views that video got.
Oh yeah, I should have
Um,
checked, I guess. I don't think
because
Allie and I checked that specific one.
now I'm actually really curious.
It got a ton of engagement from our teachers for sure. A lot of them were commenting on it and stuff, and
Well,
it was
I'll have to find I'll have to find that later. It's honestly taking me a while to scroll through because to your credit, you have done so many videos in the last couple years. And I was like scrolling through my phone as you were talking there. And I'm like, I can't even find this video. You've done so many videos
yeah,
on your social media in the last couple years. And it's not like it popped up right away. I had to scroll through so much and I still couldn't
yeah,
find it.
yeah,
And by the way, all the videos on there, I'm like, yep, okay, yep, I can see how you're averaging 80,000
yeah.
views a video because I'm looking at it. I was like, wow,
Allie
your
said we
videos
have
are
some
getting
that
a
have
ton of.
gotten over like 110,000, but the average, I guess,
And
is
how many
87,000.
people are in your county? Like, what's the
So our
population there?
population in Effingham County is like 62 or 67,000. Mm,
Okay, so I mean, your average video is literally being seen by every single adult in your county, from just a statistical perspective. Like,
yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
It's really crazy. It's still hard
So
for me to like wrap my head around it, honestly, but
so like again, like it's not surprising when you hear something like that, like, oh, literally the average adult in my county is seeing every one of my videos, just the basic math of how many people live there versus how
yeah,
many views your videos are getting.
yeah,
It's therefore not surprising that your business is, growing from 12 to 13 million to potentially 25 million this year when your marketing is getting that level of, engagement. In fact, it would almost be weird if your business wasn't growing that much with if you're
yeah.
getting that level of engagement. So you mentioned the God made a teacher. Are there any other retargeting ads that you've run that were just kind of fun or that got a lot of engagement or that people in real life told you, oh, I loved the such and such post that you made?
Um, there's been a few of the like, you know, templated ones that you guys have sent us that I like. I enjoy like the funny, like seasonal or holiday type ones. There was one too that I don't even know what it was about now. I just thought it was funny because the picture that I had to take looked like I was kicking my husband. We were fighting over a pair of pants. I think it was like something about who wears the pants in the family or something, but it had
Oh,
to do
yep,
with,
yep.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
about? And then we did like the one with like Frank and beans on bread or something for whatever holiday. Like,
Oh, for a 4th of July, like the beans on toast.
yes, the beans on
Is
toast.
that
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. And then like the Olympics one
Yep.
where I looked like an idiot standing in the middle of my street one day looking like I was about to take off sprinting,
Yeah.
and y'all put it in the, you know, Olympics type picture or whatever. Like stuff like that is hilarious and people talk about it, you know.
So that one again, just if people are listening to this and they're like, "What are you talking about?" That ad we always do,
Yeah.
every 4 years during like the Summer Olympics, I guess. Um,
Hmm.
Obviously, that's where it's all the at the Summer Olympics is where all the track and field events are, right? So like we'll
Right.
tell our clients, "Hey, just take a picture of you sprinting down your street." Or looking like you're about to sprint or whatever, and then
Yeah.
we Photoshop it into a picture of where it looks like you're competing in like the 4x1 or the 4x100
Yeah.
relay. And
Hmm.
we kind of intentionally do an amateur job photoshopping because we want to make it look funny, right?
Yeah.
That you're like in this
Yeah.
picture of Olympic sprinters. And what the ad caption simply says is, I think it should be a new rule that there's one average competitor in every Olympic race of some average guy, just for reference,
Yeah.
to like show obviously how incredible these athletes are. And
Mhm.
that post is obviously just kind of tongue in cheek. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's funny,
It's
but it
just
gets like
fun.
a ton of, yeah, it gets a ton of engagement because people think it's funny, right? Have you ever done the summer air conditioning ad? That's
Oh,
actually another one of my
yes.
favorites where you
Absolutely.
pray over the air conditioner, and
Yes.
some people get really mad at that, but I think it's hilarious because
I
in
didn't have
the
anybody, knock on wood, leave a hateful comment like I saw, some
yeah
of our people had, but it's just fun. You know what I mean?
yeah right
Like,
it makes social media fun again if you're willing to have some fun in your posts and
and that's the
you're not
thing.
always so
Like,
serious.
I think that the ones like that are important to helping us build that rapport and trust with people. You know what I mean? If I make Like, I even washed my hair for y'all today, okay, and put some makeup on. But normally, like, if you see me in the streets, I look
Wow.
like Adam Sandler. Yeah, you're welcome. I look like Adam Sandler. Like, I don't like dressing up. Like, I hate doing my own hair. You know what I'm saying? It's a running joke around here, like with my friends, that I pay my hair lady to wash my hair once a week and curl it. It's a lot, okay? And I'm a mom of 5 kids, but like, it's just important to build a relationship with people so that they can start liking you and trusting you and kind of relating to you on other levels that have nothing to do with real estate. You know what I mean? Like, if I make a
Yep.
post with a messy
Yep.
bun and I say something about my gray hair, like I'm about to post one today, like, this is 41, are we for real? You know what I mean? Or a picture with just me and my kids out and no one's dressed up, it's nothing fancy. Like, those get more engagement than something that I spend an hour getting myself ready for and putting on makeup and stuff for a listing video or whatever. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's relatable. And that's what people want. Like, they want you to know what you're doing and what you're talking about so they can trust you with their assets and all, right? But they also just want someone relatable. And I have had so many people, especially around here, because Effingham County is literally like the rural outskirts of Savannah. That's our nearest major city, right? So there's not a lot of, fancy dancy out here. I'll just be honest with you. Like, if we want a fancy 5-star dinner, we have to go to Savannah. So out here, it's just a little more chill. And I have had more than one person over the last year or so, like when I meet them for the first time to show them a house, tell me, oh, thank God, and I'll be like, what? Like, when I get there and that's our first meeting, and they're like, I'm so glad you weren't one of those realtors that was like dressed to the nines with, heels and everything else. And I was like, I'll do that on closing day, okay? Promise. But this is just what you get in the meantime, And they're like, some people, right, think that's intimidating.
Yep.
I know that's probably 50-50. Some people think it's not very professional, but I don't know. People just want someone who's relatable to them.
Yeah, just be real,
Yeah,
whatever that looks like for you and
right,
the market that you're in.
right.
One of my favorite expressions is like one difference between like extraordinary businesses, which literally the word extraordinary is just extraordinary,
Yep.
right? Versus ordinary businesses
Mhm.
is you develop actual relationships with your clients versus business relationships.
Yeah,
Because often people say, "Oh, we have great relationships with our clients." I'm like, "You don't actually mean that. You mean you have a good business relationship with them."
right,
Like, you don't
right.
actually know them, right? You're not like you don't know personal details about each other's lives and families, and you're not actually friends. You don't have an actual relationship. You have a
Yeah,
business relationship, right? And
right.
that's fine. You can actually still have a pretty successful business even if all of your
Yeah,
business relationships are just business
for
relationships.
sure.
But you can you can unlock a whole nother level of growth that's possible in your business
Yeah,
if you actually commit to developing like real relationships with your clients, not just business relationships.
yeah,
Because then that's when they are way more likely to refer people to and to go out of their way to refer people to you. It also
right.
means that they give you grace if you screw up something or you are whatever, you're
Yeah.
running late because you had a showing go long or a listing whatever, and it's like you show up a 20 minutes late for something. If they
Mhm.
have an actual relationship with you, they're like, oh, whatever, right? Versus a business relationship. Or frankly, what if one of your listings sits and you thought it was going to sell in the first week with multiple offers over asking price, and here you are 3 weeks later and you haven't had any serious offers, right? If
Yeah,
your marketing and the way that you go about your business has helped you cultivate actual relationships with your clients versus just a business relationship, that's the difference between at that 2 or 3 week mark, them being like, okay, Billy Joe, what do you think we have to do differently? And they totally trust you. They're not mad at you. They're
Right.
not frustrated versus someone who if all you have is like this kind of surface level business relationship, they might just cancel the listing on you, right
Right.
then and there because they're mad. And so it it's not just the warm and fuzzy, like I'm saying, hey, you should have actual relationships with your clients because
Yeah.
it feels better. It's like, no, there's actual tangible business reasons that you should try to
100%.
develop deeper relationships with your clients, in addition to the fact that honestly it's just more fun doing business that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree
I
with
mean,
that.
like you look at the Plat Fam, right? And like the masterminds that we do, or like the rodeo that we sponsor every summer. It's like, so we're trying to actually cultivate real relationships with our clients. Not just like, I don't view clients as users the way that, Zillow might view agents as just numbers on a spreadsheet, right? It's like your actual clients. Like we actually personally know you, right? When we assign an account manager to work with you, you have their like personal cell phone number, right?
Hmm.
Or, you know, for sure you and Kimberly and everyone have my personal cell phone number. We've established that,
Not that it
like
works
there's not,
apparently, but
yeah, yeah. Not that it's a guarantee that I answer it. No, just kidding. But there's a huge difference, right, between how you go about running a business if you're willing to have actual relationships versus hey, I'm just trying to kind of make my commission and then get out of here and hopefully I never have to talk to you again. Like you could make decent money with that mentality. It's not that that can't work,
yeah,
but it's really really hard to get to like the next level in your business if that's your mentality, because you're
right.
probably not going to get a lot of referrals.
And I mean, I agree with you. You can make a business off of that, and that's fine and dandy. But and I can only speak for myself, but me personally, that's not how I want my business to be. Like I want these people to know me. I want them to know like that I have a family. You know what I mean? Like if I am telling you that I've just been so blessed that I am at a point to where if I say, hey, if one of my clients is calling me, hey, I just walked into my daughter's volleyball game, or I just walked out here for my son's baseball game, give me like an hour, hour and a half, and I'll call you back, right? Because I need to be a present mom, right? I only have my kids for so long. I mean, for God's sakes, the youngest one's in middle school now. You know what I mean? I have one going to college, one's grown, like but that's my time. In a couple of years, they're not going to be here anymore. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And that's more important than money. But I also know that I have to like support them and pay for all this expensive crap they like, and like to do. But if I say things like that to my clients, they're like, "Yeah, absolutely, no problem." I literally had an agent, one of the one that I posted about in the platform this morning. She's the one who called me. It was actually on April 1st. I know this because it was my husband's birthday, and she left me a voicemail because I didn't answer it right away. I was literally had just met my husband to go out on his new little John boat for like an hour. That's all we were out there for. Okay. First time taking it out, so he just wanted to test it, right? And so I go meet him. He picks me up at the dock, and then I periodically check my phone or whatever, and I had a voicemail and I just saw like the transcript of it or whatever. So I just text the lady back real quick and I said, hey, thanks so much for calling. I can't wait to help. I'm out with my husband for just a bit. It's his birthday today. Can I call you back, a little later this evening? Her immediate response was absolutely no problem. Enjoy your
Yeah.
man's birthday. And I was
Yep.
like,
Yep.
and I don't know this lady from Adam. And I was like, holy cow, okay, because some people would have been like, heck no, I'm not even, if I'm doing it and I'm sending you business, you need to answer your phone now. You know what I mean? But it wasn't
Yep.
like that at all. And then I literally called her back like less than 2 hours later. And she was like, well, that was a short celebration. And I was like, listen, I was like, we just went on the boat for literally like 45 minutes. So I wanted to call you back now that I'm on my way home, And she was like, okay, cool. And she was like, well, I'm glad you called me back.
Yep.
And it was a great conversation, So just those things. I mean, those are very valuable and very tangible to me. And the fact that my clients, even new clients, they respect that, even if I try. I used to be really bad about it. I know I constantly have my phone glued to me still, but I mean, I would answer during dinner or whatever, like it didn't matter. And like, I just realized, like, get a hold of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be there in 30 minutes when you finish dinner.
Well,
You know what I'm
again, I
saying?
think all of this comes back, and I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but all of this comes back to marketing, because like having a marketing system running kind of around the clock
Yeah.
24/7, building your brand right in your community
Yeah.
in those moments is what gives you the courage to be like, you know what? I don't have to take this phone call. I'm eating dinner with my family. Or I don't need to take this phone call. I'm out on the boat with my husband and it's his birthday. I don't need to take this phone call. I'm at my son's baseball game or my daughter's volleyball game or dance recital or soccer match or whatever, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have marketing set up that's constantly bringing in leads, then it is much more tempting in those moments to be like, hey, I'm sorry, kids, I need to step out of dinner here. I need to take this phone call.
Yeah.
Because
I agree with
if you
that.
can't confidently look forward at the next month or two and know that you have plenty of business coming in and new leads are being generated every day, like you kind of feel tempted, like, hey, I probably should take this phone call. I'm almost a bad mom if I don't, because it'll help the family if we make more money, right?
Yeah.
But if your marketing is so dialed in that you have the courage and the confidence in those moments to say, no, you know what, I'll just call him back tomorrow morning or call him back after supper or I'll call him back after the baseball game is over, whatever, right?
Absolutely.
That to me is the ultimate success of marketing. It's not how many clicks did you get, how many leads did you get. It's not any of those like digital marketing metrics. It's, do you have the courage as a mom or a dad to not take a business phone call during your kid's baseball game, during your daughter's volleyball game? That to me is the ultimate marketing metric. And if you're winning on that, A, you're going to enjoy your life a lot more. And B, your business is probably going to grow as a side effect.
Yeah. I agree. And those are things that just, I wasn't able to necessarily cultivate for myself in previous years, like before platform. So I do think that that is a big part of it. So the community in general and like the type of clients and the value that I get from my clients and that they get from me now, I attribute a lot of that to y'all. And then also like just our community with inside the platform, you know? I mean, everybody
Yeah.
is just so warm and so welcoming. It's literally like we pop in there all the time with just whatever BS, right? Like, hey, I need an idea quick. I didn't think of one to have a video today, or, who did the
Yeah.
video about this? Can you help me? Everybody shares everything. And that is the type of culture like I want to be in general, like business wise. My brokerage is the same way. I'm very thankful for that. And my broker wouldn't have it any other way. But like, none of us are in competition with each other. And I'll just be honest with you, like, you just had someone in my brokerage on the podcast the other day, okay? Like we're all in the same brokerage. You have like 4 or 5 of us now in my brokerage. It's like, so we
Who
have like,
was it?
so Faith
Oh,
Murphy.
okay. Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Her and Heather are both in my same brokerage. And Michelle Driver, who I sent you guys, she took the Hinesville market. We're literally all
Okay.
in the same brokerage. And everybody just helps each other. So those things are really important. And I think those are the things that are, the tangible assets that come along with
Yep.
stuff like this.
Yeah. Having a sense of community kind of around everything we do at Platform
Yeah,
really is what makes platform, right? Because like
I
there's
agree.
100 other companies out there that can get you leads from Google pay per click or Facebook or whatever. And like everyone always loves to
Yeah.
hate on Zillow, but there's like 100 other companies besides Zillow, right?
Yeah.
What makes platform really different, really unique is that community. It's not just the Facebook group, it's the live in-person meetups we do, like the mastermind every year. I mentioned the
Yes.
rodeo where we go camping every summer together. And like it's hard to replicate that. It's hard to put a value on all of that, but like the value is
Agreed.
very real. Cause it's like, what would
Mhm.
platform look like? I've kind of posed this question before. What would platform look like if you didn't have an account manager? If just like every week we sent you an automated email of, hey, here's the ads we're going to do. And there was never any phone calls and there was not a mastermind every year and there was not a Facebook group. It's like, well, I would personally make way more money if I didn't have to have $2 million of payroll for account managers and I didn't have to plan an event that costs us almost $200,000 to put on every year that we don't have any sponsors, we don't sell tickets. It's just a pure expense from my perspective, right? But paradoxically, I don't think platform would exist
Right.
because like people wouldn't stay with us if they didn't have a relationship with their account manager, if there wasn't the community with the private Facebook group we have and the annual
I agree.
mastermind event that's, that's free. We don't charge anything for it. Like, so yeah, we would save a lot of money on paper, but I also think all of our clients would probably quit
Mhm.
because platform
Yeah.
isn't platform. Uh, at that point. And the same principle is true of your business, right? If you're developing a genuine sense of community with your clients, that's a
Mhm.
huge indicator that you're going to get more referrals in the future, and that people will give you more grace, and that they'll want to work with you. They will actually inconvenience themselves to work with you,
Yeah,
rather than work with some other realtor who will maybe take a phone call 1 minute faster, or some
right.
other realtor who's willing to discount their commission just a little bit to, list their house. Like, nope, nope, I want to work with Billi Jo. I trust her.
I
I
agree.
like her. I already feel like I know her. Like, I want to work with Billi Jo, and I'll pay the full commission rate. Like, you almost can't put a price on marketing that sets you up to have that kind of like lifestyle within
I
your business,
agree.
right?
I agree.
Well, this has been an awesome conversation, Billi Jo. Again, I probably should have had you on the podcast earlier, but you're 2 years into the Platfam experience now, so better late than never. Hopefully, I will see you at this year's mastermind. We're going to the mountains this year in Idaho. I know it's not Florida, but it'll be a uh, fun time at a high altitude with less humidity, which maybe in Georgia you'll appreciate that.
Okay, as long as we can go back to Naples next year, though.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thanks. But no, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'll look forward to more random FaceTime calls from you and Faith and Kimberly and
That you don't answer.
Ashley and the whole gang. Yeah, that's right. Um, Thank you again for your time. And guys, we'll see you on the next episode of the Platform Marketing Show.
Bye. Thank you.